Let's go ahead. We are discussing metric space structure of the nonlinear space. Last class, we have listed out, you have actually listed out a lot of properties of metric space that comes to your mind immediately. So we have started with certain continuity. First, we have proved that this norm is a continuous function. This is continuous. This is what we have used. We have proved using triangle inequality. In fact, in the process, we have proved more than that. I asked you to check it is in fact Lipschitz constant, Lipschitz continuous. This is in fact Lipschitz continuous. Now we'll go ahead with some more properties. Okay. So for example, I just want to look at a word called isomet. So most of you know that iso means it is same. Metry is, it is same in terms of metric. That's what we want to say. Now, can you suggest, I'm saying about a map between two nonlinear space is an isometric. Okay. So T from a norm space to another nonlinear space. This we want to say it is an isometry. What should be the condition? Arvind?
Sir?
Yeah. What do you think the definition of isometry?
So I thought like maybe norm of vectors might be same, but I'm not sure. So we can't guarantee a vector in X is in Y. So
Yes. So, but there is a map which is going. So with respect to that map only, we
yeah,
want to say
maybe norm. Yeah, norm of Tx is same as X. Norm of X.
correct. That's right. So that's the definition. So what we need is for all x in X, absolutely right. So you want norm of Tx should be same as norm X. Typical books write with some suffix and all. I am avoiding it. It will be clear that when I'm saying about Tx, Tx is an element in Y. So when I'm saying that norm of Tx, it's a norm in Y. So if you, I will not do this only once I'm doing this. It will be clear. This is an element. It's a norm in Y. And here there may be another norm which is called norm X. So this is what we are saying. Though I'm using general norm notation, I will not use this again and again. The context will make it clear. Okay, so this is an isometry. We can also think from this distance preserving. So a map T from X. This is a metric which is coming from the norm. And this is also a metric which is coming from the norm. So I want to say that it is distance preserving. Yeah, Atanu, can you suggest what should happen for this?
So is P linear map? Okay, sorry. It's
no,
a
no,
space.
nothing.
So
it's a metric space.
So D x x y small x small y is inside capital X equal to same as distance of Tx and Ty.
Right. So I look at the distance between Tx and Ty. That means on the images, and that you want it to be same as distance between the original point. I want this should happen for all x and y images. Okay. So this is a distance preserving. Okay. Now another notion. So what do you immediately could connect? Just think for a while. that is an isometry distance preserving? So you can ask the question, or you can also ask the question, is isometry a distance preserving? Two-way questions. I leave it for you to think. But I am going ahead. This is again certain familiar things for you. I want to call something as isomorphism. Okay. Again, this I'm calling T, a map from here to here. So I want to say that T is an isomorphism. Yes. Srihit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Isomorphism. Have you come across this word? Or what could be that? No, if you don't know, you can say I don't know.
I don't know, sir.
Okay, that's okay. I'm not asking you to recollect. Siddhant? Siddhant?
Yes, sir. I don't know that.
Okay, fine. Who else can say? How many of you know? Say yes. Okay, Nikhil.
Sir, I think if t of x is equals to t of y, then x must be equal to y.
That is what? T of x equal to ty. That should imply x. That should imply x equal to y. What is that?
I mean,
It is
so
a definition of something. Do you remember what it is?
I think bijection.
No, that will not tell you the bijection. It is part of the bijection. There is 1, 1 and onto. This doesn't say it about onto. It says about 1, 1. Whatever you said is a definition of 1, 1. Right. It is partially the partial information only given. So first of all, I'll make, we have to make it clear. See, this map is going between two spaces. What kind of spaces? It is vector spaces. So morphism has to preserve that information. That means by assumption, when I say isomorphism, T is linear. Okay, so okay, it's linear. You want linear. And what you also need is this an isomorphism. That means it is 1, 1 and onto. Okay. So it is 1, 1. And that is the definition what Nikhil has said. Tx equal to ty implies x equal to y. And I also want it to be onto. So a map is said to be an isomorphism. It's linear, 1, 1 and onto. Look at, we have not said anything about the norm. So it's actually vector space isomorphism. Okay. With that, of course, I can also ask for isometry. Okay, so if I want to say that it is preserving linearity, it is 1, 1 onto, and it is also preserving the norm, then I would use the word isometrically isomorphic. Okay, so T is isometry as well as isomorphism. T is an isometric isomorphism. I'll combine these two words. Okay. And as you have already said, there is a continuous map. So again, I'll write. So another one which we want to study, since we have already looked at continuous, now I want to look at what is called homeomorphism. So don't get confused with the word homomorphism. Homomorphism means it's part of the isomorphism. Just it has to satisfy linearity. When the structures are preserved on both sides under the map, then you call it as homomorphism. If it is also 1, 1 and onto, then it becomes isomorphism. So isomorphism is a homomorphism with 1, 1 and onto. You can think of it. Now what I'm asking is a homeomorphism, which is a topological property. So I say that T is a homeomorphism between these two nonlinear spaces. Or you can consider to be underlying metric space, XD and YD. Or you can consider just a topological space because the metric gives you a topology. So between two topological spaces, I want to call something is a homeomorphism. I hope you know what is the definition. Maybe for others, who can say that? What is a homeomorphism? Okay, Himanshu?
Sir, if you can find a map from X to Y, which is
No, I'm saying, no, Himanshu, I'm saying T is a homeomorphism. When you say that T is a
okay.
homeomorphism.
So if T is bijective and T is continuous and T inverse is also continuous.
That's it. So the word bijective he is using, so which is a combination of these two things. This is called bijective. Of course, the top one is called injective and the lower one is called surjective. Together it's called bijective, right? So you want T is bijective or 1, 1 on 2, and you also want T to be, so T is continuous. Not only that, T inverse is also continuous because since it is 1, 1 and on 2, I can discuss this inverse map. So T inverse is actually a map from Y to X now. This is also continuous. So take a couple of minutes to understand these definitions. There are 4 definitions: isometry, distance preserving, isomorphism, and homeomorphism. And think of some examples in the plane also. For example, let's start with the simplest case. I'll consider the zero map. T is a map which is taking X to X. T of any element is going to 0. So it belongs to which category? Is it an isometry? Is it an isometry? Say yes or no. I'll ask quickly answer. Is zero map an isometry?
Repeat the question.
Is zero map an isometry? Okay, good. You can ask us. So if it is, what about, is it distance preserving? Okay. What about isomorphism? Okay, so zero map is clear. Now I'll ask the identity map. T is a map from X to X. I'm clearing it. So T is a map from X to X, which is an identity map. Is it an isometry? Right. Is it distance preserving? Okay, good. I'm clearing. Isomorphism. It's also linear, so you can do that. Good. Okay, is it a homeomorphism? Good. Homeomorphism, you have problem? See, when I'm saying that it is a map from X to X, I'm taking the same norms on both sides. X with the same norm, codomain is also X with the same. Good. Now we'll ask some maps and I'll ask you to check. Okay. The maps that I want to write now is considered as this. So I consider a map T from X to X defined as follows. Okay. First, fix an element V in X. Okay. And the map that I'm defining is T of X is X plus V. Now you can ask the question, is it isometry? Is it an isometry? Indrajyoti, do you think it's an isometry? That is norm of X plus V is same as...
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
No. Okay.
No, sir. No, sir.
Ripanjana?
No, sir.
Just quickly, see, this is what you need to do. In the mind, you look at what is norm of Tx? It is norm of X plus V. What is norm
Yes,
of X?
sir.
Yeah.
I just
So whether
took
norm
for
of
X
X plus
minus
V
Y.
is same as norm of... So if you have correctly thought about Sampath, do you think it is an isometry? Sampath Vinay.
Yes, sir.
It's an isometry?
I think it's an isometry.
What you need to check for isometry?
The mapping must be 1, 1 and onto. And
Isometry is not, no. Isometry. I need to check this. Norm of Tx, is it same as norm X, correct?
yes,
So what is Tx by definition?
norm of X plus V.
Will this be true? The norm of X plus V will be same as norm X? We are checking this.
No, sir.
No, but when this will be isometry? Can you put some condition on V so that it becomes isometry?
V is 0, sir.
Correct. So unless V is 0, it's not an isometry. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'll clear it. Good. So I'm not writing out. I'll leave it for your. So this is not isometry. But one can ask other questions. Is an isomorphism? Remember what is isomorphism? If you want to look at the definition, you want it to be linear, 1, 1 and onto. In your linear algebra, you do the first thing that you check for the linearity is that whether 0 goes to 0. Look at the map and it says that no, T of 0 goes to 0 plus V. Okay. So unless V again it is 0. So when I'm writing this, so if I have to make sure that V is not 0. So if V is 0, it can be isometry, but V is non-zero, it's not even isomorphism. What about homeomorphism? I'm clearing it. What about homeomorphism? Good. All you need to check is that whether it is bijective, continuous, and inverse is continuous. First thing that bijective, is it clear? That means 1, 1, if I want to check, what I need to check, if T of X equal to T of Y, I should get X equal to Y. But T of X is X plus V, T of Y is Y plus V. If they are equal, I can cancel out V by adding minus V on both sides. I will get X equal to V. So it is 1, 1. And is it onto? So if you give me any Z in X, can I find out an X here? Yes, I can do that. All that I need to do that. Suppose if at all X plus V is Z, that gives me what should be my X. It's Z minus V. So that proves it is onto. So 1, 1 and onto is clear, but how do I check the continuity? So what I need to do for checking continuity? I need to estimate distance between Tx and Ty, and I should get in terms of X and Y. Okay. So for that, so distance between Tx and ty. See, if maps are linear, I may drop writing this. Okay, I'll write it anyway here. So it's a notation. Instead of writing this, we may write like this. Okay, it should be understood. It's for a linear map. If at all it is a linear map, but here it is not so. So I should write bracket. Yeah. This I want to estimate in terms of x and y. But that's clear. What is Tx? It is x plus v. And this is y plus v. But what is the distance? It is coming from norm. So it is norm of x plus v minus y plus v. And that's nothing but norm of x minus y, which is nothing but distance between x and y. So what does it say? Can somebody identify? Does it say anything about distance preserving? Yes, so it's preserving distance, though it is not an isometry. It is preserving distance, so it is distance preserving. And hence, now can you conclude about the continuity from here? So is it continuous? Go back to your definition of epsilon delta definition. Whenever given epsilon, I need to find out a delta such that whenever x and y is less than delta distance, tx and ty should be within epsilon distance. Now it's clear what to be done. If you give me epsilon, I will take the same delta, because this says that it is continuous. So this t is continuous. Is it also clear that T inverse is also continuous? What is the T inverse map? Can you check the T inverse map? What is T inverse of say y? Yeah, Jayant?
Y minus v.
Ah, good. That's it. So T, it's also the same type. If you do it, you will be able to see. So T inverse is also continuous. And so put together, I can conclude that T is a homeomorphism. Yeah. So it's not an isometry and not isomorphism. And it is distance preserving, and it is also homeomorphism. So this map is what is known as the translation map. So this map is remember, such a thing is possible only if you are in vector space. Between two general spaces, you don't know what is the x plus v. So to speak about this plus, you actually need some addition, which is there in the vector space. So what should be the next map that we should discuss? We are in a vector space. Now we have discussed something about addition. Yeah, Deepanjana?
Sir, scalar multiplication.
Yeah, so consider the map. T is a map from again x to x, and I consider T a scalar. Okay, and then I ask the same questions. So the map is defined, T of x is some T times x. Okay. Now you should be able to do it quickly. Is it isometry? Good. It's not an isometry, but when it is an isometry, Can you all get when this will be an isometry? Yeah, Prachi, when is it an isometry?
So when t is 1.
T is 1 is the only option. Can t be -1 also?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Something more? If it is coming from complex numbers?
Plus minus iota.
Only that's all?
Yes.
1 - 1 plus or minus I. There is no more other complex number whose modulus value is 1?
Sir, 1/√2 plus iota 1/.
These are examples, but can you see that if as long as the mod t is 1, that's enough, correct?
Yes, sir.
How many are there? Countable or uncountable? What are all the complex numbers whose modulus value is 1? Prachi, countable or uncountable? No, you don't want to answer. Yeah.
Countable.
Only countable? No, it's uncountable. All the elements on the unit sphere in the complex plane, they all belong to this. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's fine. And so rest of the things we can, is it a linear map? Is it an isomorphism? Sorry, I'm clearing it up. Is it an isomorphism? Yeah, most of you are getting, but not very fast. Many of you have doubt. What's the doubt? You are checking isomorphism. Is it linear is what you need to check. And then whether you will be able to find out 1, 1 and onto is the question. If tx equal to ty, as long as t is non-zero, then it is an isomorphism. I can cancel out t and I will get x equal to y. So 1, 1 I will get. Onto how I will get. If you give me any y, can I get a t such that tx equal to y? That means whether range is filled. That I can again do it. I need to start with y by t. So when t is non-zero, yes, it's an isomorphism. But I just want to restrict to the part of homeomorphism question. Is it a homeomorphism? I'm clearing it out. Is it a homeomorphism? Is it distance preserving? Homeomorphism, many of you said yes. Okay. Is it distance preserving? Is it distance preserving? No. So it's not distance preserving unless you know something about the t, right? So it is not distance preserving, but it is a homeomorphism. Check that. So all you need to do is same way start with the distance between whatever I've written here. Go through this. You can see a t will come out. So t times of norm x minus y, you may get it. That will be t times distance between x and y. So if I give you epsilon, you have to choose appropriately that t times of the epsilon as the delta. Okay. So you can choose in terms of the delta will be depending on epsilon and the t. So you can prove that it's continuous. And similarly, inverse is also continuous. And so these maps are in general referred as dilation. Okay. Dilations. That means it's okay, or contraction. Depending on what is your t. If t is 2, it is dilation, stretching out. Contraction means it's smaller kind of. Okay. So this is your conclusion is that yes, it is a homeomorphism. Now, if you have done, okay, I'm clearing it out. If you have done a homeomorphism, what will be the image of an open set under a homeomorphism? I have a homeomorphism between x and between x to x. I have a homeomorphism. I start an open set in X. It's a topological question. I expect at least the MSc student should answer. What is the image of this open set under a homeomorphism? Good. If you have done metric space also, you will be able to do it. Good. Sujana.
It should be open.
Yeah, so it takes open sets to open. What about closed sets?
I don't remember.
It also does that. Okay. So it takes open sets to open set. It takes closed sets to closed set. Remember the definition of continuities. It takes inverse image of open set is open. But if it is, since it is bijective map and it's a homeomorphism, it takes open sets to open sets and closed sets to closed sets. And so quick conclusion from that, can you see the following? That if I give you a set E, subset of X, and it is also open, what can you say about this X plus E? X is some fixed vector in X. I know, I assume that you know what is this X plus E. We have already defined this. With every element of E, you are adding X. Singleton, I don't put a bracket. I told last. Is it open? Can you see that? Because of the fact that you said, because of the fact that this is a homeomorphism. So your translation is a homeomorphism, and hence this is also, and hence this is going to be open. Okay. So what is the next step that I can write from the dilation and contraction? What is the next statement I can write using the dilation or contraction? If you can guess, tell yes. Yeah, Guru Prasad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
For any E open set, T also is open.
Yeah.
T not equal to 0.
Yes. Of course, everywhere you have to make sure that what kind of thing that you are making. So, and can I also, is that clear for all of you know what list? Use the map, this dilation or contraction. If you give me a E, what is this TE? It is under the map. It is T of E, correct? Capital T of E is nothing but the T times of E. If you want to precisely look at in the same fashion, I assume you can do that. So if I say this, you will be able to understand. So it is like V. V plus E is open. Good. So what if I replace open by closed? Is that also clear immediately? So in both cases, we can replace open by closed. So if I start with a closed set, and if what is this V plus E? It is translation. So if something is an open set here, so think of the picture in the background. If I'm in a plane, I have some open set called E, not necessarily open ball. This is some open set. And if I translate that, this is the map T, which is translating. So it moves to this place. Okay. The same thing if I move it to somewhere else, that's the V plus C. Then that is also open. Same thing with the closed. What about T times E? It is, so this is translation, and this is dilation. What it will do, it is like just shrinking it, or maybe making it more bigger. Those are also preserving the same type, open or closed. This I am doing it as an example only for the plane, but this continue to be true in any nonlinear space. As you already know that the open sets could be of any type, right? Right. Now, I'll ask one question and then take a while and then tell me what I can do about this. So E continue to be open, and A is some subset of S. Okay, it's just a subset. There is no condition on A. What can we comment about A plus C? Is the question clear? E is an open set and A is some set. We have already defined what is A plus C. I'm asking what about A plus C? Can I say something? Of course, the question, obvious question is that is it open? If it is open, why? That you can think. So if you know the reason why it is also open, I'm clearing it out, then you can say yes. Yes, Ritesh.
So we can write it as union of A belongs to A, small a belongs to bigger A, and then we can write it as union of A plus E. So it will be the translation of each elements of E from by units A.
That's it.
So it will be.
Yeah. So this is open. So not only that, you take if you are given with open set, then if you whatever you add with that. Remember, adding means with every element you are adding an element from A. And you should also think about geometrically what is happening. Say, for example, my set A is containing only 2 elements. Then let's say let's say some A and B. So the first set is A plus E. So it may be E may be here, A plus E may be here. And A is also containing another element, small b. So E, this may be B plus C. So put together, this union is actually A plus B, A plus E. So that also becomes open because arbitrary union of open set is open. It's from topological information. Good. So this extra information that we are also getting. So this is going to be helpful in terms of this. I will ask some more questions in the connection of open sets. Is the full space open? Remember, X is the whole space. Is the full space is open? Because if it is a topology, the whole set and empty set has to be there, and hence it is open. That's right. Okay. The question is not that. That's open, fine. But suppose if I consider a subspace, say called Y, subset of X. This is a subspace. Okay. Is this open? I'm clearing it up. Is this open? So we'll go back to this previous question that I asked. X is open because you need to say the following. If you give me any element, so if you give any X in X, I should be able to produce there exists an open set. In fact, in our case, we know that the basis is containing from the basis collection we have written all ball centered at 0 of radius 1 by n and translated by X. That itself is a basis that we have said. That means there exists some B. So maybe I'll call it as, so given any X, there exists a ball B centered at A of some radius 1 by n such that X should belongs to this B A 1 by n and it should be contained in X. That means it is proving that every element, the X is an interior point. That's how we prove it. So what is the obvious choice for, so I need to produce this. That means I need to produce the A and 1 by n. What is the obvious choice here? Which should contain X. So I will take A to be A itself as X. And I can take any 1 by n. Well, let's say n equal to 2. I know that the whole ball centered at X of radius 1 by 2 will be completely sitting inside X. And hence we can prove that every point is an interior point. Now we'll ask the same question here. I have given with a subspace and we are asking the question that is it also true? Yeah, some people have answer. Is it, so the question is it open? You can answer. Yeah. Okay, Piyush.
Yes, sir. No, it's not open. Maybe
it is not open. Maybe. Okay.
Not maybe. I mean, sorry.
Y need not be open. Like if we take X equals to R, we can take Y as Q complement or any closed set. So,
no, I'm saying it is a subspace.
Okay.
I'm not saying it is subset. I'm saying it is a subspace. It's a vector space. A lot of subsets can be open. There's no problem, correct? I'm saying it is a subspace. That means think of again a plane. What are the subspaces? A vector space. So what are the subspaces of plane? The whole plane itself is a subspace. And any line passing through origin is also a subspace. Also subspaces. And even just singleton 0. The singleton set containing 0 element. That's also a subspace. That means the whole plane is 2-dimensional. The whole 2-dimensional plane is also a subspace. And any line passing through origin is a 1-dimensional subspace. And the set containing just singleton 0. It's also a subspace of dimension 0. So these are the subspaces. I am asking whether any of them can be a subspace. Any of them can be open. That's what we are asking. Yeah, Namashivayam.
It's not open.
It's not open. Why?
Like intuitively we can see, but
intuitively, yeah. Intuitively, what is that?
Like these lines and all are not open, right? Because if you take origin and if we consider any open ball,
okay,
it will go outside the.
If you give me any point here, and if I consider any open set, and it goes out of the space, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's what you are thinking. Okay, that
This we
intuitively
can make it into proof also.
So how do you make?
Like it is a subspace, so 0 will be there. So at least 0 should be the interior point.
Correct.
Then suppose.
Is that clear? So this the point is clear. So 0 has to be an interior point. Or even you can take that even. What about this? I'll do this. Suppose it is open. Let's say so 0 belongs to y. I'm just making it clear. So if 0 belongs to y, if it were open, then this should be an interior point. That means there exists a ball centered at 0 of some radius r. This should contain 0 and this should be subset of y. Right. And now? Yeah, go ahead, Namashivaya.
Yes, sir. Now, like take all the E1 up to En.
Those why you are going finite dimension?
Finite. Oh, you are asking for any subspace, right?
Any normal linear space. This idea is fine, but that's why you have to put it rigorously. Atanu?
I also thought by that, like taking linear span.
Linear span
combination.
Okay, so I'll ask a question and then think you will get it immediately. So since I said that B0R is in Y, what can you say about 2 times B0R? Remember, this is the speciality of being in this metric space is not just a metric space, it's coming from the normal linear space with vector space structure. What do you say about this?
Yes, sir, it will contain.
It will be in Y?
Yes, it will be there in Y.
Now you can replace 2 by anything. Now what do you conclude from that?
X is a subset of.
We have already done this. If you remember, if I take B0R and if I take B0N, for all N, if I take the union, this we have done. Do you remember? R take all B0R, R positive. These are all X. Okay. Once a ball is inside, then everything is inside. Is this point clear now? I'm just clearing it out. Did you understand the proof? Just see. If 0 is an interior point, you get a ball, and from this ball, since it is a subspace, any scaling is also still remains to be inside this space because it is. And then I take union of all such things. Any scalar multiple. I can multiply and make it B0N if you want. All of them are inside, but that whole union we have already said it is actually X. So what do you conclude from that? So what is the conclusion from that? Datta? What we can conclude?
X is the only open set.
So if at all Y a subspace is open, it has to be X. Okay, so you're right. Your conclusion is much more crisp. So X is the only open. Datta, can you complete?
Open space. Open subspace.
Subspace. Yeah, this is more important. I don't think it's a subset. Okay. So which means, see, all that we said is that Y cannot be a subspace. This 0 is nothing special. Even if I start with a, suppose A is an interior point of Y, and if you got a ball centered at A of radius R, and since it is a subspace, I can add a minus A with this, and I will get B0R. You can check this. In fact, not only 0 being an interior point is a problem, but even any other point being interior is also a problem. You can always bring it back to that issue. So if you remember correctly, can you tell what we are saying about proper subspaces then? It's a topological question, but you have done in other pre-analysis course also. You have a set which has no interior point. Yes, Gaurav?
Proper subspaces are not open.
Huh?
Proper subspaces cannot be open.
That's right. Proper subspaces cannot be open, but what are these are called? Atano. You're right. You're right. But I'm looking for a word. If you remember.
Yes. We can have Cantor set in R.
What is that you're saying?
So, are you asking that give example of a set?
No, not example. I'm asking that do you remember any property that something like it is saying? You have a set where it doesn't have any interior point.
Okay.
Okay, what is the interior point of a proper subspace now?
Interior point of proper subspace. So, no interior points.
So, what is that set? What is the interior of a proper subspace?
Phi.
Empty, yes.
Empty set.
So, nothing occurred to you? A space where interior points are empty. And what is the closure of that set? I will ask explicitly. Okay, I'll come back. Guru Prasad? That's fine.
So same set. Closure is same.
No. Why?
Because no other point is an interior point, right?
That's okay. So why that closure will be same? Rational's interior is empty, but closure is full R.
No, for proper subspaces, I'm telling.
No, I'm asking. No. If you have a proper subspace and its interior is empty and its closure is also empty, do you remember any term you used? Some set whose interior closure is empty? Yeah. Yes. So.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, X is the only open subspace. In this occasion, we can say that if we consider the real line R, then the open subgroup is only the whole real line R. The open subgroup, if I say.
Open subgroup. Why suddenly is groups you've gone?
No, actually, if I consider the real line with the operation addition, then it is a group.
Okay.
Then the only open subgroup is R only. It can be said in this occasion because open subspace, the way it is proved, in the same way we can say that the open subgroup of R is only R.
No. We have used a scalar multiple.
No, because the same way it is becoming subspace, the subgroup is also formed in the same way. By that means
no, but this proof you cannot imitate. That's what I'm saying. It is not the same proof. Because if there is an interior point, you got a ball, and then any scalar multiple of that ball is also inside we have used.
No, sir, but the proof of that was also done in the same way. The open subgroup, if I consider of the real line, it is done in the same way that it becomes the whole R.
No, but this is not the proof I'm saying. You have to use translations there. You have to use addition. I have used a scalar multiple here. Are you getting? Arindam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See this part. I am just highlighting. Just see that. This you cannot use. You have to use somewhere translations. You have to use the group structure. Okay. So every proper subspace is nowhere dense. Do you all accept? Typically in metric space, you will look for you will get this. So yeah.
Now for telling this property, like every proper subspace is nowhere else, we have to prove that every subspace is closed, right?
Which one? Why is that?
If you take infinite dimensional vector space, that will not be true actually, your statement.
If you take
LP, little LP, and if you take subspace to be C00, okay, that is a proper subspace, but closure of C00 will be full LP.
So you are saying now, what is the question is that, so all that you are saying is that every proper closed, is that you are saying now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, we have to take interior of A closure.
Yeah. We have to take the interior of the closure or closure's interior, the nowhere dense.
Interior of A closure. Interior of A closure.
Yes. You have to take the closure first, and then you have to look for the interior. Right. So is it clear now? Is it better? So as long as the subspace is closed, then you can get it. And hence it creates a question now that is all subspaces are closed or not. So we can have subspaces which are not closed. So your typical proof of considering E1, E2, En is only finite dimensional where every subspace is actually closed. So it's purely infinite dimensional information. This is not going to be true as such. Right. So the better way to write is that every proper closed subspace is nowhere dense. Good. So the nowhere dense definition is this. You take A is said to be nowhere dense, you take closure, and then you take the interior. This has to be interior.